After centuries of conflict in the Kree-Skrull War, a Kree scientist named Mar-Vell overcame the prejudice and propaganda of her people to offer sanctuary to General Talos and a group of Skrull refugees, housing them in her secret lab orbiting above the planet Earth, where she was conducting experiments on the Space Stone. Though she nearly completed her work on a lightspeed engine to transport the Skrulls to a new homeworld, in 1989, the Empire discovered her betrayal and sent the warrior Jan Rog and his team to eliminate the traitor and recover the energy core. Yet before her death, Mar-Vell, who was posing as the human Wendy Lawson, revealed her true identity to her co-pilot, Carol Avenger Danvers, and made it clear the energy core must be destroyed. A determined woman of iron will, Carol Danvers destroyed the engine herself, but survived the blast when the energy of the Space Stone within was absorbed into her body. Gaining the power to summon and manipulate cosmic energy, she instantly became one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, and so her memory was wiped so she could serve as a warrior for the Kree. In order to control the vast amounts of cosmic energy she could summon, they implanted an inhibitor device, which also allowed them to shut down her abilities if necessary. Left with only brief glimpses of her past, Veers, as she was known, received a blood transfusion from Jan Rog, becoming a Kree-human hybrid, greatly increasing her physical strength and speed before spending the next 6 years training to become a warrior. Back on Earth, the former Nazi and war criminal Werner Reinhardt was released from prison by fellow Hydra member Alexander Pierce, who had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and the American government. Reinhardt then traveled to Austria, where he found the Inhuman Jia Ying and recognized her as the woman from the Hunan province of China who survived an experiment with a diviner before his incarceration, seeing that she had not visibly aged in all that time. Deciding to investigate, Reinhardt conducted medical experiments on her, using his findings to reverse his own aging. Werner then legally changed his name to Daniel Whitehall and adopted an American accent. Although Jia Ying's body was destroyed during the experiments, her remains were recovered by her husband, Dr. Calvin Johnson, who had been searching for her since she was first taken. Using his medical knowledge, he put her body back together and, with the help of Jia Ying's own natural healing abilities, revived his beloved wife. In addition, Calvin Johnson created a formula which made him physically stronger and better able to protect his family, though it came with dangerous side effects, making him volatile and mentally unstable. Reunited, the two returned to China to find their daughter, who was staying with trusted friends, but instead learned she was kidnapped by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. The distraught parents then left a bloody trail behind them as they searched for their daughter, using the life energy of those killed to further heal Jia Ying. Designated as an 084, meaning an object of unknown origin, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, who thought they were rescuing the child Daisy, feared for her safety and so sent her to an orphanage under the name Mary Sue Poots, though she later chose the nickname Sky. Although Calvin Johnson spent years trying to find her without success, and as a result was left by his wife, he did not give up, dedicating the rest of his life to finding his daughter. Sent on a War Dogs mission to California, N'Jobu, brother of King T'Chaka of Wakanda, became radicalized in his belief that their advanced technology should be used to help the rest of Africa and those of African descent who had been exploited and subjugated throughout history. In an attempt to further this goal, N'Jobu revealed secret information about his homeland to Ulysses Claw, an international arms dealer who was then able to locate Wakanda and steal a quarter ton of vibranium before setting off an explosive to become the first man in the nation's history to evade capture. Also in this year, Hank Pym resigned from S.H.I.E.L.D. after they ignored his objections and attempted to duplicate Pym particle technology. Moving into the 90s, it was during this decade that Natasha Romanoff was trained by the KGB to become an elite Russian spy, thriving under the strict environment and conditions to eventually earn the codename Black Widow. In 1990, Agent John Garrett suffered life-threatening injuries during a mission in Sarajevo and was left to die by S.H.I.E.L.D., who were unable to send an extraction team. Feeling betrayed, John Garrett joined Hydra and became the first test subject of Project Deathlock, in which Cybertech Industries gave him biomechanical prosthetics to save his life. In 1991, Hydra sent the Winter Soldier to assassinate Howard Stark and his wife Maria. Howard's right-hand man, Obadiah Stane, then became interim CEO of Stark Industries, until Tony Stark came of age to become the youngest CEO of a Fortune 500 company and a media celebrity. In 1992, after a thorough investigation of the attack on Wakanda by Ulysses Claw, King T'Chaka discovered that his younger brother N'Jobu betrayed them and assisted in the crime. Using an undercover agent named Zuri as a spy, T'Chaka confirmed his suspicions and traveled to California, where his brother defended himself by saying he was trying to help the oppressed Africans of the world. But T'Chaka did not accept his excuse and was forced to kill his brother when he pulled out a gun to murder Zuri. When it was done, the Wakandans departed aboard a stealth ship, leaving Njobu's body to be discovered by his young son, Eric Stevens, who spent the rest of his life seeking to avenge his father. In 1993, Ivan Vanko, son of Anton Vanko, was imprisoned for 15 years after selling weapons-grade plutonium to Pakistan. In 1994, a boy named Matt Murdock saved the life of an old man when a truck with hazardous chemicals flipped over. Unfortunately, these chemicals then splashed into the boy's eyes, causing permanent blindness. The following year, his father, Jack Murdock, was hired by the gangster Roscoe Sweeney to purposely lose a boxing match against Carl Crusher Creel. However, Jack decided not to take a dive and defeated his opponent so his son might think him a winner. Knowing this decision was dangerous, he placed a large bet on himself before the match and arranged for the winnings to be transferred into his son's name so he would be taken care of no matter what. And just as he feared, Jack was then murdered for his actions. With his father dead and mother unable to take care of him, Matt Murdock was sent to an orphanage where he was found by Stick, a blind martial arts master and member of the Chaste, an organization dedicated to defeating the ancient ninja clan known as the Hand. Stick then trained Matt Murdock to use his lost vision as a way to heighten his other senses, so he could become a powerful fighter with unique skills and abilities. However, when he noticed the boy was becoming attached to him, Stick abandoned his student, informing him he could no longer be his instructor. Far from the planet Earth, Stakaro Gord of the Ravagers admonished Yondu Udanta after discovering that he broke their rules and trafficked children. Although Yondu and his crew continued to consider themselves Ravagers, they were branded as traitors and became an exiled faction. Back in America, a young Bruce Banner met and started dating Betty Ross while students at Harvard University. Growing up in Massachusetts, Grant Ward was psychologically and physically abused by his older brother Christian, greatly influencing his upbringing and partially leading him to become a petty criminal. In this same year, upon the Kree capital of Hala, the warrior Veers was approved for her first mission, but was soon captured by the Skrull General Talos, who suspected she knew the whereabouts to Mar-Vell's secret science lab. Able to escape captivity, Veers crash-landed on the planet Earth, where she allied herself with the human SHIELD agent Nick Fury before being approached by General Talos, who convinced her to listen to the black box recording of her crash landing with Mar-Vell 6 years earlier, resulting in the restoration of her lost memories. Realizing that the Kree were the true enemy, she switched allegiances and was eventually captured, but now, understanding how powerful she truly was, focused her mind to overcome their control and remove the inhibitor, finally reaching her full potential. Summoning vast amounts of cosmic energy, she was granted the ability to fly through air and space, launch powerful energy blasts, and became invulnerable to most forms of attack. After defeating Yon Rog, the Star Force team, and a fleet of ships sent by Ronan the Accuser, Carol Danvers earned the nickname Marvel from Nick Fury, before presenting him with a modified pager to contact her in case of emergency. Determined to find the remaining Skrull population and save them from the Kree, Captain Marvel decided to leave the Tesseract with S.H.I.E.L.D., though it had actually been swallowed by a Flurkin named Goose, a creature that resembled an Earth cat, but was actually a vicious creature who eventually threw it back up. Despite his affection for Goose, it was the Flurkin who scratched Nick Fury in the face, causing him to lose his left eye. Realizing the Earth and humanity were not alone in the universe, and that they might come under threat again, Agent Fury started working on a project called the Protectors Initiative, hoping to gather an elite team of superheroes to help defend the planet. Yet as he looked upon an old picture of Carol Danvers, he saw her nickname Avenger written on the side of a plane, and changed the name of the project in her honor. In New York, a young woman named Cassandra was kidnapped, gang-raped, and murdered by the criminal Mike Jones and his companions, an event which greatly affected her cousin, Misty Knight, motivating her to become a police officer. Far off in space, the being Thanos was becoming one of the most powerful warlords in the universe, with the Chitauri and Outriders serving as his army, while his adopted children formed the Black Order, trained as elite warriors and assassins. Yet Thanos was not motivated by a lust for power or riches, instead resolved to help the people of the universe in his own way, inspired by the fate of his home planet Titan, a once beautiful world that became overpopulated, resulting in a great cataclysm which destroyed them. Although it was too late for his homeworld, Thanos wanted to prevent such a calamity from destroying another planet, and became convinced that the only solution was to eliminate half the population of the universe. And so with his ever-growing might, Thanos started to visit various planets which suffered from overpopulation and limited resources, forcibly enacting his plans. Though he gained a reputation as a brutal killer and merciless tyrant, Thanos claimed that it was because of his efforts that these planets went on to flourish, with those that survived able to live long and happy lives. One of these planets was known as Zeoberai, where he met a young girl named Gamora, adopting her as a daughter and training her to join the Black Order. Love audiobooks? Then be sure to check out Audible, where they have the world's largest collection available. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below and get 2 free audiobooks to start out. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Belligerent Man, Soul Guide Medical, Sir Dayron of House Ashford, and Mr. Bliss. If you'd like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the links to see more.